guys, can you hear me? I thought it was going to be okay, but it's very, very hot. It's already like 100 degrees in my studio. And for whatever reason, my camera won't work. It won't give me this. It won't let me select my FaceTime camera. I don't know. It's supposed to get up to 107 a day. Jesus. If anybody, I don't know, other than I don't know how to. It won't let me select my FaceTime camera. I don't know why that is. It's very frustrating. Other than shutting down the browser and starting it again, I don't know what else to do. The music is still going. I can't hear it. Jeez. Okay. Well, guys, hold on. I don't know. This is becoming kind of problematic. But have I tried verbal threats? I mean, usually works for me. Okay. What I'm gonna do is close out my browser and start it again. Give me a second. I know this is very late into the day, but my apologies. All right, guys. I don't know. My camera just bugged out, so I guess I'm not gonna have a camera today. It's okay. Can you hear me? My apologies. It's just super, super, super hot here, and yeah, maybe trying to do the show in my usual spot wasn't a bad decision. But can you hear me? Please let me know. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate you. All right, guys. Well, yeah, I don't know. My camera just decided it's not going to work, and my it's just too late to try and like shut my computer down and do all that kind of stuff. It's just it's annoying. But if you can hear me, then we can talk about some things. That's fine. We'll do it like that. Um, yeah. Anyways, let's see. Privacy camera uncheck and recheck allow access. Good luck. All right. Thanks, Osama. I'm afraid to try it. Privacy in privacy and I'm using Brave now. I was using Chrome. System preferences. Thank you, man. Yeah, I just, I don't know if oh shit. Now I'm getting like spinning wheel. It's hot, yo. It's hot. All right, let's see. It's like looking at radio. Yeah, it just I'm kind of asking a lot right now of my computer because usually it just doesn't even work when it's this hot. But we'll see. We'll see if this works. Well, I'm trying to go to system preferences, but I is this. Let's see. I think um the Brave was okay. I checked the Brave is it's saying it's just bugging out, man. It's just some wire got crossed somewhere, and I don't. The see, it's just spinning when I'm trying to check security on system preferences. It's just spinning. Eh. Uh, camera. Come on, let's go. We can do it. Every single click is taking 5 minutes, so it's not really. Excuse me. And this is very unresponsive. Extremely unresponsive. Let's see. Come on, man. I've got blocks of ice right now. Yeah, I don't know. This is ridiculous. It's taking too long. It's just completely like not. Yeah. This is not. I mean, it's just taking every single click is like a zero response. So it's just ridiculous. Let's just go with this. Um which we can do that. You guys can hear me. That's fine. It's streaming. That's fine. Uh where did my show go today? I'm frustrated at this point. We'll see if this works though. Are we going to get this to load? Hello. No, that's not what we wanted. Uh, ah, bro, just no. Okay. There we go. God dang it. Let's see. Oh yeah. Totally. I'm on the Russian payroll, bro. This is totally come on, guys. Okay. I don't you know what? Okay. Hey, you guys, I'm sorry. This is just ridiculous. I can't even get anything to function on my computer. I can't like this is we're already half an hour into the show. And you know what I might do? You know what I might do? I might change location and try to restart the show. Or maybe I'll just change location now. I don't know. Hold on one second. All right, what's up? How you doing, guys? We're gonna do it like this. So if you're all still here, it looks like people are still here. My apologies. Uh, there were too many things going on at the same time. It wasn't just the heat. It wasn't just the heat. It was other things happening. So, um, anyways, we're here, and let's try and start the show. My apologies for it being so long, and whatever. Anybody watching this later is going to have to go through a lot of bullshit to get to here. So whatever. I wish I could see. Gene, you don't see me right now. I'm here. Just wait like 7 seconds. I guess there might be a delay. Hopefully, Gene waits 7 seconds. From William Ripple. We'll just start with some ecological overshoot. Distribution of mammals on Earth, he says, is this ecological overshoot? Mammal biomass is shown for the year 2015. Wild animals, or wild mammals, 40% of the global mammal biomass. Livestock and pets, 62% of the global mammal biomass. Humans, 34% of the global mammal biomass. Humans and the animals that feed them. Isn't that interesting? You know what? I left my coffee in the garage. Sorry, I'll be right back. Because this show is all about professionalism. And I can't bring you a professional show without coffee. So there you go. You broke a window. Yeah, we did fumble the biosphere, didn't we? Anyways, is this overshoot? Well, if you looked at these numbers, you might go, well, yeah. And again, it's always funny to me, or I don't know if it's funny or sad. I think maybe sad. That people are like, humans are the best. Even when you know damn well that humans are not the best. You know damn well that you look at a pack of humans and you go, man, there's a bunch of dumb apes. There's a bunch of dummies for you. I know. I might actually sound a slightly what's the word I'm looking for? Rockfin sees me fine. Cool. Well, glad you guys are here on Rockfin. Sorry about all the problems. Sometimes it's just freaking hot. It's gonna be freaking hot tomorrow, so I'll make sure that I don't do the things that I was doing today. Jaded, contemplative says jaded, inebriated. What's? Oh, I can't even think. You know, what's the word when you don't like humans? And it's not like humans can be cool. You know, they can be cool. And I like certain humans, but just on the whole, if you just look at a pack of humans behaving like humans, a realist. That wasn't the word I was looking for, but no, no. Misanthropic. That's what I was thinking. That's going south for the win. Thank you. Misanthropic. First, I kept thinking it's an M word, but I kept thinking Malthusian. I'm, not Malthusian. I mean, I guess it's Malthusian. Malthusian is a different thing. Misanthropic. And it's a word that Edward Abbey uses a lot. Several other people use the word a lot. More buffalo, less pets. Yeah. Or buffalo would make great pets, according to Perry Farrell. Or will make great pets, according to Perry Farrell. Yeah, like George Carlin said about humans in large numbers, right? Like individually, I like humans fine. I like, the people I know. Maybe the people on my street are kind of cool. But as a collective, it's like I don't understand how people can look at humans as a collective and go like, we're great. When I hear I really can't think today. When I hear Russell Brand or who's the other guy? God dang, my brain is just not working today. The guy that makes the T-shirts. When I hear Russell Brand or some other podcasters say like beautiful and amazing humans, I'm like, really? Beautiful and amazing humans? I mean, it's optimistic, I guess. In bits and pieces, humans can be amazing, but like on the whole, no. But I have I have sympathy for people, and I have empathy, and I have a deep, I have a deep feeling of, I don't know if it's remorse, but I just, yeah, I mean, people are here and maybe they don't, obviously they didn't ask to be here. You come into the earth and you don't know what's going on. You're trying to figure out what's going on. And you try to figure out what life is about and what your place is. And like, maybe you're just limited, maybe you have a limited point of understanding just with the information that you're given. Like, maybe you just don't have a lot of wherewithal to see, um, a bigger picture or whatever. Like, and all you can say about that is like, well, yeah, a lot of humans are operating on a limited understanding or maybe limited information or limited worldview, and they're just trying to figure it out like everybody else, right? And so, whatever. So when I look at humans that way, I have a bit of a softer view, but there are a lot of just absolutely selfish pieces of shit out there that just don't give a flying fuck about anybody but themselves and getting everything they can get. And like those people can just go away in my mind. Like those people just have no function other than just being, those people indicate overshoot of a massive degree. Here's another thought is that, yes, there are all these people on the planet, all these new people on the planet, and they're all trying to figure it out. And there are a lot of people out there that just don't have the capacity to act on a higher level. People that are just completely selfish and shitty. And then you have psychopaths who just want to gain power and control and money and rule over people and do terrible things to people. You have those people, right? and you have more of them than ever, right? Because there's 8 billion people on the planet, so there's just more in percentage, percentage wise, there's just more of those people than ever on the planet. And then you have this access to technology, this wildly powerful technology, right? So you have like absolute morons and psychopaths and dingbats, right? And they all have access to this incredibly powerful technology. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? Everything. It was manageable back in the day when there were only a few billion people on the planet, and we didn't have this amazing technology, right? And people would do stupid shit, but it was like on a smaller level, on a way smaller level. Like, oh, that civilization, they just went, they went overboard, and they went, oh, these group of people just lost their minds and went overboard. But it was in a small region of the planet, and but now we have like nuclear weapons and AI and who knows what else, space lasers and right. And there's so much of it, and there's so many of us. Like we're on a collision course with just absolute total disaster. And people think it's just going to be great. it's awesome. Kaspersky, right? Anyways, philosophical thoughts on the beginning of the day, and maybe, I certainly don't want to live my life as like I certainly don't want to like walk around feeling like just a nasty, bitter curmudgeon that just hates everybody and everything. Like that's not how I want to live my life. Like, there are beautiful things in the world and beautiful people in the world, and there are, beautiful moments to enjoy. I try to get to those as well. And I think people spend a lot of time putting themselves in little pockets of like, well, I have, I'm surrounded by these cool people over here, artists, musicians, painters, whatever. And you're in a comfortable enough position that you don't really have to come into contact with the knuckleheads. I don't know, who knows? Bukowski. Let's keep going. This show has already been, it's a little bit off the rails, so I apologize. Everyone who's watching and who will watch, I apologize for the off the rails. Yes, if you made it here, great. Yes, creative experiments. Don't be nice to everyone, because some people just feed their egos with your nice. Exactly. There are people, Wacky Wednesday, or how about thoroughly thwarted Thursday. I don't know. How about that for an alliteration? Phoenix reaches 100 degrees for the record 100th straight day. We already read this, didn't we? Didn't we already do this? We did this yesterday. Where the hell is my show? Oh, here it is. On top of that, my text app disappears my links. I don't really understand what's going on with that. You can develop cancer if you're a people pleaser, according to Dr. Gabor Mate. Oh, really? Where did Wednesday go, Gene? Exactly. Last remaining old-growth forests in America are still being logged. The U.S. Forest Service and BLM are leading the charge. The photographer captures life in America's last remaining old-growth forest. I guess the best you can do is just be, a more compassionate, enlightened, sensitive person, right? And hope and be a beacon to others to be a more compassionate, enlightened, sensitive person, you know. And I guess be compassionate, enlightened, and sensitive even to the people who are not. If you can, if they're not trying to suck the ever living soul out of you, if they're not trying to take you for all you've got, just hope that some of that rubs off. I don't know. But the people that run around sucking the life out of people, I don't know. I don't have a lot of compassion for them. I try, but they have to go away, at least out of my life. There is a debate on whether psychopaths are actually human, right? And it's a slippery slope. If you decide that some humans are subhuman or not human, that's a slippery slope to go down, right? So you have to allow people to just be who they are. But like, if you're a psychopathic, narcissistic abuser, what do you do? What do you do with those people? Hillary Clinton will live to 103, right? Just to smite us or spite us. A photographer captures life in America's old-growth forests. But the old-growth forests are being logged and decimated. Here's Oregon. Russia are the baddies. 101 degrees in Portland today? My God. Well, let's go to Wikipedia for some news about old growth forests. An old growth forest is a forest that has developed over a long period of time without disturbance. Due to this, old growth forests exhibit unique ecological features. The Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations defines primary forests as naturally regenerated forests of native tree species, where there are no clearly visible indications of human activity, and the ecological processes are not significantly disturbed. 1/3 of the world's forests are primary forests. Old growth features include diverse tree-related structures that provide diverse wildlife habitats that increases the biodiversity of the forested ecosystem. Virgin or first growth forests are old growth forests that have never been logged. The concept of diverse tree structure Includes multi-layer canopies and canopy gaps, greatly varying tree heights and diameters and diverse tree species, and classes and sizes of woody debris. The area of primary forest has decreased by 81 million hectares, or 200 million acres since 1990. But the rate of loss has more than halved compared from 2010 to 2020, compared with the previous decade. That's good news. Still losing forests. Depending on the forest, it may take from a century to several millennia to regenerate. Let's move on to some extreme rain events. This is beyond insane. The tropical wave is dumping serious rainfall on Mali, a desert country in North Africa. In the coming days, its path will travel across northern Mauritania and curve into western and northern Algeria. The Sahara Desert is experiencing some historic rain. I love comments. Somebody says, it wasn't always a desert. Okay. Thanks for that, big brain. Epic flooding in West Tampa. This is from last night. Town and Country, Florida. I know where that is. Been there many a time at the AutoZone in Tampa, specifically. Um, Texas also got hit. How are all these areas recovering from all of this extreme weather? Floodwaters surrounded homes in central Texas as several inches of rain fell in parts of the Lone Star State. It's in Coleman, Texas. I mean, all of these areas getting flooded out, the houses and businesses and infrastructure needing to be refurbished or whatever, rebuilt. It seems like it might be slightly staggering number. If you think about all the extreme, flooding events just in the U.S. this year, all of the people having to dig out from all this stuff. Thanks for sticking around, guys. The beginning of the show was very problematic. Appreciate y'all being here. We're live on Rockfin, Rumble, and on YouTube. I don't know if anybody's watching on Rumble. It seemed to get a lot of traffic only when I'd switch off of YouTube. So they're cranking it. They seem to be, the powers that be seem to be rolling out the same old playbooks from the last few years and going, well, it worked before, it'll work again, right? The fear mongering about the misinformation, we're now there's Russian interference again. COVID is back. Guys, we're on the verge of another pandemic. Which one? I don't know. Name one. Bird flu, monkeypox, pangolin pox. I don't. Anyways, from Adam McKay. He's retweeting this from the New York Times. Left-wing misinformation is having a moment. No. Tell me more. Left-wing misinformation. I mean, for the last 8 years, it's been all about right-wing misinformation being the, oh my God. The irony of this headline, I hope, is not lost on people. Wefpox, right? The irony of this headline is really hilarious. Anyways, Adam McKay says, this is from the news outlet that refuses to cover the giant money machine choking our government. Takes millions from big oil to greenwash for them. Published false intel in the lead up to the invasion of Iraq, Gaza genocide. At least their games aren't compromised. He goes on to say, funny, fairly inconsequential story about the Times. They did a piece based on a true story and how it used to basically make up stuff like winning time showing the late great Jerry West breaking a golf club out of anger. But there was one problem. The moment was taken directly from Jerry West's autobiography. When we informed the Times they would not print a retraction, but said they'd change it for online but not print. Can you imagine publishing a piece about getting facts right and not making sure the facts are correct? This is the New York Times. The only explanation here is there have been a bunch of angry tweets from old sports writers and West denying he broke golf clubs. So the Times writer must have based their info on that. No one ever bothered to fact check the piece about facts. Which explains the irony of the headline, right? Because the outlets that most cater to like a liberal worldview are famous, famous for printing misinformation, famous for giving people falsehoods, misinformation. And then they turn the viewfinder on themselves and say left-wing misinformation is having a moment. You don't say. As we approach the election, buckle your seatbelts. Yeah, it's But they're anyways. Next, the other thing that I see a lot of is a lot of headlines about how Trump lured low information. How the Republican Party took over low information voters, right? Then next in the Washington Post, you'll see something about, is it possible that Democrats might be low information voters, right? You'll see some headline like that. Democrats think they know it all, but do they? Or maybe one for the Babylon Bee. And again, the Dunning-Kruger effect, right, is a thing. But I have always said, and I've said for the last several years, the Dunning-Kruger effect is actually stronger among people who are college educated, well-positioned, have some money, typically liberal. It's even stronger in them, right? Because they're like, I am smart. And all my, my position in life tells me I am a brilliant person, right? You are even more susceptible to the misinformation or thinking something that isn't totally correct because it comes from a source that you trust, or it's in your circle of information, right? Your friends and family, or the people that you run with, right? The people that you trust, right? If you have this circle of people that all support this one worldview or this one narrative, right? You're going to tend to just believe it because would doctors lie? Exactly. So it's like Dunning-Kruger is actually worse among people. Like, it's easier to what's the story? There was a story about um, defrauding the wealthy, right? It's actually quite easy to defraud the wealthy, right? Because of their position, their power, right? That it's easier for scammers and grifters to like call them up and go like, "Hey, I've got an offer. You can't, you won't refuse." Like, sounds good. Sign me up. Okay. Anyways, Creative Experiment says I was that Democrat with a master's degree until I ended up in a homeless food line. Yeah, all of that is to say, there isn't one side isn't like smarter than the other, right? And you probably lower your self-importance, right? Your level of self-importance, how you view yourself. Like maybe take it down a few notches. Like, yeah, okay, if you're successful, great, good for you. If you view yourself as a good person, great, good for you. If you view yourself as a smart person, great, good for you. But always allow for the fact that you could be wrong, and actually you could be misled. You could fall for misinformation. You could make wrong decisions. People do it all the time. It's okay. The best way to deal with that is admit to it, learn from it, and move on, right? Instead of like, no way. There's no way I'm wrong. You're stupid, right? Instead of digging your heels in, whatever. I.e. Bernie Madoff. Yes, exactly, Salt Lickers. Bernie Madoff is a great example of somebody who got over on very, well-to-do people who thought they were educated, well-off, smart people. Oh, and he actually made some people money for a while, right? On a Ponzi scheme, you could actually survive for a little while until it falls apart. And you could be thinking like, this is great. I have made investments that I thought, made me feel really smart. It turned out to be absolutely, my thoughts around it were totally wrong. And, the worst thing to do would be to go, no, I was, that wasn't my fault. No, it was my fault. I just had wrong information about it. I didn't have enough information. And I thought I had a lot of information. And when I realized I didn't have enough information, that can be very jarring. It can be very confidence shattering, but it's okay. It happens. You learn from it and you move on. Okay. And maybe, just maybe, humans as a whole will, if we get to a space where we have our confidence shattered, just enough, we might actually learn from it and move on. And I'm taking bets right now, over-unders on that. Gene says we must protect all of us from the bad MAGA propaganda, so censorship is a good thing. Yes, that's a famous line from left-wing people who think they know everything. And it is absolutely one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. But people, really feel strongly about this. Why? Because Trump is the biggest boogeyman since Hitler. And oh my God, like, anything that could befall Donald Trump is totally on the table, and he totally deserves it. And especially censorship and being kicked off of platforms and maybe put in jail. And oh my God, I can't wait to see this guy. And maybe he does deserve it, but it's that viewpoint that actually puts you in a space of, well, I'll accept anything. I will accept anything, anybody telling me anything as long as it's anti-Trump. And that is one of the most ignorant positions you could ever hold in your life. Because you'll be led down the primrose path. Oh, is it against Trump? I'm for it. Okay. Anything at all. Trump doesn't like the Ukraine war. Well, I'm for it. Okay. Oh, great. Well then, that obviously makes you an incredibly intelligent person. Just come on now. That's the big plan, and they are all in on it. Yes, that's exactly what it's that dialectic. It's that being able to play both sides off of each other that will enable them to do whatever they want to promote, right? And the right can do it to the left too, right? It will promote, it will support, it will progress their goals. They will get whatever they want because they can play people off each other like that. In fact, they don't even need people. They don't even need the people to agree. They just do, manufacture consent between the media and the government, and the media and the government, right? They just throw the hot potato back and forth. We got to do something about this online hate. We got to do something about all this speech that's going on in social media. And they just throw it back and forth. And they're like, yeah, we're taking action right now. Like, you don't even need people to, what do the people think? We don't care. Like, we don't care. We're just going to manufacture the consent amongst ourselves, which is what they're doing with Israel, right? They just keep repeating. And Kamala Harris is one of the worst offenders of this. Biden is one of the worst offenders of it. They keep repeating lie after lie after lie about what is actually happening there. But you just repeat that. You just do not deviate from the lie, ever. You just keep, it's the most narcissistic thing I've ever seen. You never deviate from the lie. You just keep pounding that lie as if it's the truth. And everybody's standing around going, dude, this is a total lie. And they're like, but no, this is the truth, that we're operating in a completely different truth than everybody else. It doesn't matter. We're in power. So we can just create that truth and just go off of that. It is the most dastardly, and it's incredibly effective. Anyways, they can do whatever they want. This is from Revolutionary Blackout Network. Biden administration, I thought it was the Harris administration at this point, because nobody's seen Biden or heard, it's still the Biden administration in name, I guess. Even though nobody's seen Biden and nobody, they don't have to trot out the 5 different Bidens to see which one is going to work today. He doesn't have to show up anymore. He doesn't even have to, come out the house. Anyways, the Biden administration to accuse Russia of sustained effort to influence the 2024 election. And of course, right on cue, we got this in 2020, right? And if Trump wins, of course, the Democrats are going to be all over the fact that he cheated, right? They're going to be like, oh my God, he cheated. It was stolen. But if Harris wins and Trump says it was stolen, or the Republicans say it was stolen. Oh my God, election interference. Let's lock them up. It's like, okay, wait, hold on. I'm trying to figure that one out in my brain. Apparently, it's illegal if one side does it, but it's completely fine. We can have a 2-year congressional hearing. We spend millions and millions of dollars of money on this congressional hearing, and run a headline in every single newspaper on it every single day for 2 years. Totally fine if that side is concerned about election integrity. Totally fine. So there's that. Revolutionary Blackout Network says, imagine believing this garbage when AIPAC exists and openly brags about rigging elections, and they do. They put tweets out every day. Tweet after tweet. Oh, we bought this election. We bought this election. We won over here, Kentucky, Tennessee, New York, wherever, St. Louis. We ran this person out of office. They are out in the open, like, proud of it. But of course, just be wary of those Russians and their election interference. Well, let's see what this article has to say. I know I'm going longer. You know why. Let's see if we can get this. One day ago, formerly, not formally, but formally accuse Russia. They're going to formally accuse Russia of interfering in a presidential election. Anyways, from yesterday, U.S. accuses Russia of This is a big story, by the way. They actually brought an accusation against some media personalities, Tim Pool being one of them, and we're going to get to this. This is pretty wild. This is a wild story. Attorney General Merrick Garland addressed the spread of disinformation from the Russian government in a press conference on Wednesday, announcing a sweeping effort to fight back against the Kremlin's repeated efforts to influence the U.S. election. As part of the announcement, the Justice Department charged 2 Russia-based employees of Russian state media network, RT, they're going after RT again, with conspiring to commit money laundering and violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Wow. Kostiantin Kalishnikov, 31, and Elena Afanashvaya, 27, each face a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison for violating FARA, and an additional maximum sentence of 20 years for the conspiracy to commit money laundering. Holy, that's wild. The pair are accused of spending millions of dollars to launder pro-Russian social media content through an unnamed company in Tennessee. Wow. RT's editor-in-chief said the company had built an entire empire of covert projects designed to shape public opinion in Western audiences. We allege that as part of that effort, RT and its employees, did he say that? Okay. RT and its employees, including the defendants, implemented a nearly $10 million scheme to fund and direct a Tennessee-based company to publish and disseminate content deemed favorable to the Russian government. Wow. Again, but AIPAC openly buys politicians. Openly buys politicians, and that's okay. That's totally fine. Nobody's violating any laws there. But these people are somehow influencing American opinion through social media. Okay. The company never disclosed to the influencers or their millions of followers its ties to RT and the Russian government. Instead, the defendants and company claimed the company was sponsored by a private investor. But let's go to this other story because it's getting late and I want to talk about this for a second. According to the U.S. Department of Justice, Tenet, and maybe this is the company that they're talking about because I don't know if they name it here. I mean, this is a very do they name this company? The company in Tennessee? I don't think they do. So interesting that they have an article accusing people of Russian interference. They do name RT, but they don't name the actual company. Well, listen to this. Breaking, according to the U.S. Department of Justice, Tenet Media, whose roster includes Benny Johnson, Tim Pool, and Dave Rubin, has allegedly received $10 million from the Russian government to publish content as part of a Russian influence operation. What? Oh, I guess this is the same one. This is from justice.gov. 2 RT employees indicted for covertly funding and directing U.S. company. Wow. Do you think this charge has any merit? Let's look at this article from Wired. Right-wing influencer Tenet Media allegedly spread Russian disinformation. Wow. My skeptical hat is on right now. You read the article and think it has no merit? Going South says it's all BS. I believe it's, yeah. I believe I don't believe it. This is a pretty wild allegation. And I said as much on Twitter. I said this is a very, very big allegation. I don't, and you're kind of right. You're bringing people under this umbrella of like alternative media. You also have the precedence of the Telegram founder being arrested in France. You have you have Richard Medhurst being arrested in the UK. You have people threatening Telegram and TikTok. You have the Justice Department or the Biden administration threatening these social media sites. So there's a very big push to indicate that people are acting in a malicious way, in a misinformative way, and they're trying to crack down on people. So I wonder if I just don't know. I don't know about this allegation. We'll see where this goes. I mean, just because they point the finger, an accusation is not guilt, right? Of course, an accusation is not guilt. And that first article I read didn't even name the company. Anyways, this one does. Tennessee-based media network that produces shows for high-profile right-wing influencers such as Benny Johnson and Tim Pool was largely funded Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know about this. Largely funded by Russian state-backed news network RT. 10 Media itself boasts more than 315,000 followers on YouTube. That's not a lot of followers. Thousands more across Facebook and Instagram. Look how many thousands of people they're reaching. Tim Pool released a statement on X saying in part that should these allegations prove true, I, as well as other personalities and commentators, were deceived and are victims. Okay. Allegedly. So all of this is allegedly. We'll see where this goes. Remember some of the documents in the Russiagate case were proven to be falsified, right? At the end of all of that, they were proven to be false documents and false statements by the FBI. I can't believe that the director of the FBI was actually found guilty of faking some of those documents, being behind some of those fake documents in the Russiagate case, and he got promoted. Christopher Wray was promoted after being found guilty. So I guess you got to fail up. There were some good programs on RT, and Lee Camp was on RT. He had a damn good show on RT. Anyways, that's happening. And lastly, let's get to this story. I'm going to have to push this other video to tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a little more success. The streaming gods hopefully will smile on us tomorrow a little more. Here's an allegation that they're using prison labor. Major corporations are using prison labor and not paying, they're getting very, very cheap labor from prisoners, which would be also known as slave labor, right? This is from A More Perfect Union. Alabama is farming out incarcerated people to work at hundreds of companies, including McDonald's and Wendy's. Sorry, you can't see this. The state takes 40% of wages and often denies parole to keep people as cheap labor. Didn't Kamala Harris do that in California? She was keeping people incarcerated because they needed people to fight fires, because they use incarcerated people to fight fires. I think that was one of the things that they had. One of the allegations against Kamala Harris was that she had kept people in jail because they needed people to fight fires. Wow. Getting written up can lead to solitary confinement. This is modern day slavery. Let's listen to this.
Well, a lot of people are calling it modern slavery. Does that feel right?
I was just about to say that's slavery. That's slavery. You took away the whips, but you put the paperwork. Took away the masters and you put them in uniform. Same difference. Same difference.
It kind of appears that there is a coordinated system in order to protect the labor that's created by the prison system.
Walk into a McDonald's in Alabama, and the worker flipping your McDouble could be an incarcerated person.
It's a sad situation of where they getting rich off us.
The Alabama Department of Corrections farms out incarcerated people to work at hundreds of private companies and government agencies across the state.
McDonald's, Burger King, Golden Corral, Wendy's. They got a Wendy's contract right now. State Trooper's office.
They'll send everybody everywhere.
They'll send you everywhere. Yes, the parole office.
And even though ADOC trusts these incarcerated people to leave prison every day and work alongside the general public, many of them are still denied the chance at real freedom.
I work for y'all, but when I come up for parole, you deny me. Why would you deny me? Because I got free, because you're getting free service.
This is a story about corporations and the state of Alabama exploiting prison labor and the coercive policies they use to keep its citizens trapped in servitude.
It doesn't work. It's a terrible system.
If you're wondering how any of this is even legal, well, it might not be. That's what we went to Alabama to figure out.
So yeah, could you just describe like how long you worked here? And
I was here 18 months. I ran their kitchen by myself from 8 to 5 every Tuesday through Thursday.
wow,
Yeah.
that sounds like hard work.
It was.
Elizabeth Thomas was in the Alabama Work Release Program for 5 of her 15 years in prison.
So they had a combination of incarcerated people and free world people.
Yes.
Did you feel like there was a difference how they treated?
Oh, most definitely. We work longer hours.
Make the work release work over or work extra days. Don't want to give you off days. Like, no, I got to eat my health. I have to get rest. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a machine. But that's how they look at you. Like,
This is Quincy Sanders. During his nearly 17 years in prison, he worked at several restaurants, a lumber yard, and McDonald's.
like working a real job and trying to stay being incarcerated is a very hard experience. You have to be mind strong, really.
Alabama has one of the most overcrowded and deadly prison systems in the United States. Even the Justice Department found conditions there to be unconstitutional. In 2023, almost a person a day died in Alabama prisons, which is almost 5 times the national average.
They might get beat to death. People beating folks with sticks. They breaking broomsticks, making little billy clubs. People in there stabbing each other. People in there doing drugs. People in there almost about to die. They're not getting you no nursing assistance. The nurse probably get there. You probably be dead.
But ADOC offers people in prison with nonviolent misdemeanor convictions a potentially life-saving deal. If they join the work release program, they get to live in special facilities that are generally much less dangerous than regular prisons. They spend their days working in the free world without prison supervision, and they can earn 72-hour passes to visit their families at home.
If you go out here and you do the right thing, you get to elevate, you get to grow, you get out of this facility. But what you didn't tell me is that you finna get all my money. That's what they didn't tell you.
The state takes a 40% cut of every incarcerated worker's wages off the top, before taxes, plus an additional $5 a day for van rides to and from work, $15 a month for laundry,
Oh my God. You can charge them for food
and
too?
then any restitution and court fees.
Let's see. Your pay for today was $150 or $100. We're taking 40% and taxes, another 30%, and van ride and fees, food, whatever else. And here is your $15. Thanks for playing. That is wild. That is absolutely wild. This goes on all over the place, though, by the way. It's not just Alabama. It's obviously California. They actually ship prisoners from one state to another. They'll transfer them to another state if they need workers in a particular area. Yeah. That's a wild story. All right, guys. If you like this show coming to you for free 99 every single weekday, Monday through Friday, you like what you see, like what you hear, you want it to keep going, you want it to keep being free, and you want to support the show financially, that's how this show keeps on going. And there are links in the description box of whatever platform you're watching on. All the usuals are there. Direct donate links are the most helpful. because I get the money directly and they take the least cut. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Zelle is absolutely no cut. So if you want to send me money through Zelle, that's actually totally free to you and to me. Coffees are also appreciated. And I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully without all the problems. Hopefully tomorrow we can come back without the technical difficulties. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you being here. You guys are great. And I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific. And until next time, peace.